Hi folks, today we're going to take a look at Travis Hines, where he reveals to us the whole reason why he's contemplating bail jumping for his upcoming trial in October. But before we start today's video, as always, a big thank you to all of my current and new channel members and subscribers. Without your guys' support, I couldn't keep this channel going, so I want to thank you all personally from the bottom of my heart. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe to the page. Leave a like and a comment because it really helps me with the algorithm. Consider becoming a member, and don't forget to check out our new podcast, the Craptown Florida Man Power Rankings. Episode 3 is out right now. But with all that being said,
alright, I'm talking about the case in Louisiana. What I have is a court date in the middle of October. I think it's before the Halloween, and that's too early. I mean, it's still going to be warm. All right, there's still going to be some fairly hot days. I mean, we're not talking deadly hot, but we're talking hot, and I don't want to deal with that.
With all due respect, what the fuck are you talking about?
Especially having to sit around for another month between October and November. So I want to write a continuance. This is a fresh trial, but I think that the events, all the court dates I made from the first trial are relevant, and I want to make mention of those, the dates, make mention of those in my continuance. I want to write a continuance to the judge when my lawyer is finally released.
we have a lot to unpack here, but the whole reason you're contemplating bail jumping is you don't want to deal with the heat. Well, I hate to break it to you, Travis, but you're going to be in the South. There's going to be some heat. And it's going to be a bit uncomfortable due to the high humidity that is a part of being in the South. And no, they are not going to consider your first visits with your first trial if this is a new trial. All that stuff is held back. But I'm still trying to understand this. You have a lawyer, and your lawyer's gotten you a new trial. Why? Why are you doing all of this to risk your freedom?
Because I can't force my lawyer to write a continuance. He's just refusing, and I think that's an insult to me. So why should I be dealing with somebody who's going to insult me so much? Yeah, he's probably thinking like a judge, but thinking for the judge by just saving him the hassle of having to make a decision. The decision is being made by my lawyer about making a continuance for, I'd say, late December, January, and February. I mean, I'm opening up my schedule wide, and that's one thing I want to look at. And I'm asking that on my notepad here. Are there any laws that take into account my schedule? Okay, the people's schedule. All right.
Shenanigans.
Na 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 na.
Shenanigans.
Na 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 na.
And we're calling shenanigans, folks, because there's some shenanigans we need to debunk here. First off, Travis, your lawyer is not making judgments for your judge or with your judge. He's trying to argue the case that he has, that you should be trying to help him win. Instead, you want to make it all about, well, your comfort. And yes, there are certain things that would help you get a continuance, such as if you had a medical reason. But just because you don't want to be hot and sweaty in the car that you chose to live in is not one of those reasons. And lastly, I mean, you're not the people. The prosecution represents the people. You are the defendant. And, well, it seems like they've given you one trial and then you've argued for a new one. But I don't think you're going to get through your thick skull that you're not going to get it your way. This isn't Burger King. This is the justice system.
It's not just about the judge and prosecutor schedule. Okay, there's also it's my schedule as well. Don't they ask you if it works for you? They just give you a date. That's, so I have to ask what laws there are, because that's going to have to be in my writ to the Third Circuit Appeals Court. If Judge Barber denies my request for a continuance. But I'll argue that I showed up for like 7 or 8 dates. One date was like made 2 days in advance. I mean, less than a week I was notified and I showed up. It was just a hearing after hearing. And these hearings after hearings for me are just phone conference after phone conference for my lawyer.
Okay.
So what's treated as a hearing for me is treated as a phone conference for my lawyer. So a phone conference that is not recorded, not put on record, and I'm supposed to take my lawyer's word for it on what was said. I mean, I still don't know how Judge Barber waved his hand to deny me the Zoom hearing. And once again, I'm always available for Zoom anytime.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
You see, Travis, you can argue all you want that you have all the time in the world for these Zoom hearings. But when it comes down to it, a lot of courts are starting to shut down the Zoom calls and the Zoom hearings and going back to in-person trials. And if your judge doesn't want to give you a Zoom hearing, stop complaining and just man up and take care of what you have to do. Now, you can easily go to Louisiana for one day, go for this trial or this hearing that you have to go to, and then travel back out. Instead, you're making it sound like you have to be forced there by an ankle monitor, when that's not the case. Now, we know you're not going to go to this trial because you've already contemplated this much to argue the reasons why you should bail jump to your followers. Just admit that you're going to break the law, and you're going to end up with a warrant, and you're going to end up going back down there, and well...
They're the ones who are denying it, but I don't know what was said. My lawyer even... my lawyer has said untrustworthy things, such as, I asked him, did you know that I was sitting on Zoom the whole time you had your hearing? And he's like, nope. He's flat out said no. I mean, I don't know why he would say no. Okay, he probably just wanted to just not have to argue about it, so he just lies and says no, because I don't believe him. We discussed Zoom. We discussed even getting me hooked up, connected, and even Nikita Larisha, or whatever, that lady at the court clerk, city court clerk, she knew that to set up Zoom. Okay, and Judge Barber was aware of it, although you don't see it in writing in the transcripts anywhere. There was I don't even think Lucretia put it in that she asked that, she said that I was on Zoom.
But it doesn't matter if you were on Zoom. The only reason it would matter is if you were scheduled for a Zoom hearing or a Zoom trial. Now, if you were ordered to be there in person, or your lawyer was ordered to be there in person and you weren't, it doesn't matter if you were on Zoom or not. And this whole argument of, well, you don't trust your lawyer because there's no records or recordings of these conference calls. Well, conference calls are not a subject of court records. They don't need to be recorded. It's not like it's taking place in open court. It's happening in the law offices between the two lawyers. Travis, a lot of this seems like you don't understand. And it's good that you have a lawyer, but I wish you would be patient and trust your lawyer instead of, coming up with some crazy theories.
He just waves his hand, and that was just his way to avoid that being put on record. Judge Barber didn't want it put on record that he denied me a Zoom hearing back a few months ago, and my lawyer didn't bring it up. He just said I waive my right to be present. It's like Judge Barber accepts that. Well, why don't you just accept then I waive my right to be present at the trial too then? I mean, if you're just going to be waiving rights like this with this craziness without putting anything properly on record.
This guy is fucking stupid!
What needs to be put on record though is my request for a continuance to get this pushed back. And then if he denies the continuance, then I'll have to write an appeal, or write a writ. It's not considered an appeal. Any decision that the judge makes, I can write a writ and send that to the appeals courts, and then see how long it takes them to decide. I don't believe there's any time limit. And if it's pushed back to the summertime again, if they want to take their sweet time again making a decision, they took about 6 or 7 months last time, and I'm not going to tell them that it's a rush. You know, if they push it back to the summer, then I'll write another continuance to not have to arrive in the summer. This isn't California.
You're just trying to avoid the punishment that you're going to be facing. I mean, you're arguing that they have no right to make you show up during the summertime. Well, that's not true. I mean, if you had a legitimate medical reason, like you're going to be having surgery and you're going to be recovering and you're not going to be able to make it, then the courts would be lenient and give you that time frame and possibly even extend it or just give you a Zoom hearing. But you're just saying because you don't want to be hot. That's not a legitimate excuse. You could write a writ and send it to the appeals court, and they'll laugh it back down saying no. You're coming off as a real moron on this one, buddy.
You know, you can't just go any time of the year. Yeah, I was looking at this map from a poster on Instagram showing the climate and how it's perfect between 60 and 80 degrees. And you see the whole Pacific coast is just perfect, and then Louisiana is horrid. And I can't sleep in my car during that time. A month.
Oh, but baby.
We're looking at a month between the last hearing and trial. I have to sit around Natchitoches and wait for that trial, because that's just how they schedule. That's how other states schedule it. They like to have that last hearing 2 weeks to a month before the trial. So that's something I need to have more in the winter time, where the weather is more tolerable. There's still mosquitoes out and about. I got bit in January. I got bit in February. But if the writ is denied, we'll have to see how that works out.
And we're going to end the video here, folks. The video does continue on further, where Travis goes through his arguments of, well, the lawyer is telling him it would be longer and tighter if they have to extend it even further out, and comes up with some crazy theories on crime control when it comes to just making everybody colder. Yeah, Travis has completely lost his mind on this one and is far gone, and thinks that he can escape his trial even if he doesn't show up. Well, if you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. And if you can, please consider becoming a member. And don't forget to check out our new podcast, the Craptown Florida Man Power Rankings. With all that being said, be well, be safe, and I'll see you guys next time. And a special thank you to all members of the news team. Without your guys' continuous, ongoing support, I couldn't keep this channel going. So I want to thank you all personally from the bottom